Hey, September's almost over. We're on the last 2 days, in this penultimate episode, I am covering WNUF Halloween Special, one of the movies which I didn't actually watch the last year. I think I might have already reviewed for the channel, I can't remember, but I'm not like, I don't think it's fair to say I'm a huge fan of found footage, because I don't, by default, it's not my favourite genres. I think there are parts of it I really like, but I also think that it can sometimes be used as an excuse to not make something that's actually found footage. I did this with my movie Brother Action, which on Channel 3, you should watch it. But sometimes it's not, they sort of half it. And think even if they commit to it, you'll get something like The Bay, which I really, really, really like The Bay, but it's not. It feels like too stylish for found footage, if that makes any sense. And I think WNUF understands that found footage works best when it's a bit naff. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but I mean that this really, really, really does feel like an old school Halloween special. Like sort you get, American TV does more of that thing than the UK. But it really does feel like that. And the reason it does is because it commits to a bit, because the first part is mainly like adverts and sort of fluff piece material. And on one hand, you can go, it's not the most entertaining thing on the planet. But on the other hand, go, if you want to create a accurate sort of visual and aesthetic reality, so it feels more real, you need to do this. It's a bit like Blair Witch actually does feel like a sort of thing free, like Dobie University students would make for a documentary. It feels real. I think this feels real, especially the first part. And then when it gets to really intense stuff, it works because we've worked up there, but it also works for me because I prefer this sort of found footage. It's one of the things I really like about Late Night with the Devil. I'm someone who, I love watching people do pastiches of like that sort of old school TV, where it's actually like someone found this, it aired, someone found it, and then they went back to it and they looked at it for a mind lens, I suppose you can say. But I really like this movie, and I think the reason I like it most, again, is because it commits to a bit, and I think that's something that lots of movies don't do. And it's something where I do like Shudder. Some of their stuff feels a bit more like it. I mean, VHS sort of on and off commits to a bit. Obviously, in the first VHS movie, you had the sort of like web chat that was ended up being recorded, and then put on VHS tape, which didn't really make any goddamn sense. But that's okay because it's still a good segment. Now, on to specifics. Is this scary? I don't know if I'd say so much scary. I'd say I think it does a good job of keeping things low key enough so that you can actually believe in the universe they're creating. But scary, I don't know. I mean, some parts again feel a bit goofy, but like the spoilers, obviously. If you haven't seen this movie right now, spoilers. Don't listen past this point. I'll just give you my mark. I'll probably go for. I can't do halves anymore, so I'll probably go for 4 out of 5. Yeah, if you're still watching after spoiler warning, when they cut the guy's tongue off, it looks really bad. But then, sort of like it's deliberately done through like a VHS, so it creates a sense of you could go over myself. Did that actually happen, or is it part of the TV doc? Was it a fake fictional in-universe thing too, or did it really happen? I mean, you could go either way. But I always says, I think the only problem I have with this movie in retrospect is, so this movie obviously is starring unknowns, but it's similar to Ghostwatch, which was apparently seemed more of an accurate sort of ghost thingy. But in Ghostwatch, they cast like actual people who British like TV watchers knew, and that to me, like, I prefer this approach. But it also means that you're going to get some rubbery acting, which again is not a problem because it's part of the aesthetic. But it just means that it's not necessarily going to work as brilliantly as it could with like better actors. But then you get a bit more of a sense of realism. So I think it's a great movie. I think it's good. But I think it's kind of weighted by the fact that they committed so much to the bit that there is a lot of padding and fluff in the first section of the movie. And I think Late Night with the Devil did a better job of threading things through. Mostly because they did the behind the scenes stuff, which was some of the best stuff of the movie. But also, like, they obviously had bigger effects budgets. So doing more known actors. But I do like Swan, and it's a nice way to end the penultimate day of Shudder September. And I'll be back tomorrow with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I am going to be watching the second sight 4K DVD Blu-ray I got today. But at the same time, it's on Shudder, so it still fucking counts. We'll see you tomorrow.